infiltration of water into the soil will only occur if there's pore space in that soil to accept the water. The water will go into the pore space and from one pore to the other and work its way tortuously through the soil profile. And if you compact that soil, what you're in essence doing is squashing out the pores or reducing the pore size, the pore volume there. So the less pores you have, that means that there's less water can get into the soil. So it's a reduction of pore space is what's happening with compaction and infiltration. Well, the soil horizons, like when a soil is formed, it requires life, biological life, plant life, animal life, soil life, and what you end up when you dig a hole, dig a pit, you end up with what we call an A horizon. That's our upper organic matter rich horizon where there's lots of activity, lots of nutrients, lots of roots, lots of life. And below that, you'll, depending on the soil profile, but in our case here, we found the AE horizon, which is an alluviated horizon. The clay has been leached out of that under the gray-wooded soil formation regime and deposited at lower depths into the B horizon. We call it ABC. And between the B and C horizon on this particular site, we have a nice CCA layer. We have an accumulation of calcium carbonate, which occurs over eons of time for that calcium carbonate to accumulate at depth. So in terms of compaction effect on the horizons, you don't really mess up the horizons, you compact things. So you'd compact the A, and right now we can see the most effect in that A horizon and the top of the B horizon. We can see an actual dip, shall we call it, in the bottom of the A horizon, showing that yes, there has been traffic here. It's been compacted and compressed. The depth of compaction, we haven't really measured, at deep depth, but there would be some kind of compaction happening even down at, 2 and 3 feet. It's just a little harder to measure right now. Well, what CTF is doing is you're restricting your compaction to the track, to the tram line. Instead of doing a little compaction here and a little over there and later in the season over here, you're just using the same track. It's just like driving on the road. You stay on the road. Just drive on the road every time. So you're limiting your compaction to a known area as opposed to kind of randomly doing a little compaction here and a little compaction there. So that's kind of the concept behind CTF is you got to travel the field, just travel in the same place. What we have seen so far in terms of infiltration on controlled traffic ground versus what we call our check areas, our random traffic areas, and it's been fairly consistent the last couple of years, we are measuring a higher infiltration rate under the controlled traffic side of the experiments. And that's indicating that there's a little bit more pore space, a little more continuity of pores, so water can get into the ground a little easier. And we are measuring that in terms of the number of seconds it takes for an inch of water, shall we say, to get into the ground. And that is showing up and has been consistent for a couple of years now. Yes, I would say it's consistent across all sites. Keep in mind, one of our sites does not have a check. And our farthest south site, we haven't done the infiltration work on that one, the same number of years and stuff. So those two, all we can say is we're infiltrating water, but we're not picking up that nice difference. Like our 3 northern sites are showing a definite benefit to infiltration.